another fun episode today. I have my friend Francesca Nonino in. Welcome back. I know
Thank
you.
you so
It's
much.
been a year since you've been back to Houston, so we're excited to have
Yeah,
you here.
I have to say that Texas is one of my favorite places in the United States. So I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, is it Houston or is it just Texas overall?
I don't want to specify
I
which
heard that.
city,
I got
but
you.
maybe I think that in my heart there is Dallas because
Oh,
I did my first honky tonk dance over there.
oh, okay,
Yeah, Billy
awesome.
Bob, Billy.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Cool, cool, awesome. Well, I'm glad you like Dallas. I think all of us here in this room kind of think Houston's better, but we love Dallas, so I will say that here on the camera. But cool. Who are you? Can you tell us about who you are for people who don't know who you are?
So, hi, I'm Francesca Nonino.
Okay.
I'm the sixth generation of a Nonino family. We're a family of distillers since 1897.
Okay.
And I'm working in the family business officially since 8 years. I'm the one that taking care of the digital communication, and I'm also co-manager of United States market with my aunt Elisabetta. That I say hi to. Hi, Zia. What else? Talking about Grappa online, I became the first Grappa influencer because I think that Grappa is an amazing spirit that people need to know more because it has a beautiful, beautiful history that can be really inspiring. And now I'm here with you.
Awesome. Yeah, well, welcome in. We're glad to have you. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Italy and some of your travels. I think would be kind of fun to kick off on. So I know you travel the U.S. a lot. What kind of trends have you been seeing here in the U.S. as far as cocktails, culture, any favorite bars, anything that stand out to you that you think is
So, I have to say that I think that United States set the trend for the cocktail scene, and then the other countries catch up years later. Just to give you an idea, Pepper Plane was created in 2007, and it arrived in Italy in 2020.
20? Okay.
Yep. Now, Pepper Plane cocktail became so famous even in Italy, but. I think that nowadays the bar scene in the United States is focusing more on sustainability and female-owned distillery, female-owned, female-run brands. And I have to say that I like that a lot. I'm seeing a lot of low ABV, non-alcoholic cocktail. I have my own opinion about them, but
No, I got you. Yeah.
and yeah, what else? Well, I saw so many bars that I love so much. I have to say that the thing that I love the most about coming to United States is the fact that I feel that the bar scene is in the hands of real professional. I mean, bartender mixologists really want to create their own culture to have. They study a lot. They want to create cocktails that are cultural experience, not just booze. They want to tell their story and the story of the brand in the new cocktail they're serving. And I love this so much because I think that the cocktail scene changed a lot. When I was young, people used to drink just to get wasted. Now it's more an elevated experience. People want to drink less but want to drink better. And I think this is the perfect moment for quality brand like ours.
Yeah, for sure. I think you nailed it really on the head because a lot of what I've been seeing too, and a lot of our guests have been saying, sustainability has been a big one. A lot of brands need to go to sustainability, and then the women-owned business thing is also something that I'm excited to see growing as well, and actually getting the face time that it should have had many years ago. So that's awesome too.
Yeah, for the sustainability thing, I think that is beautiful. I saw that also in Italy, honestly. Nonetheless, like for example, Grappa is one of the most sustainable spirit you can have because we consider that for making Grappa we use the leftover of wineries and we distill them, and we do not have any waste because with the distilled pomace, that is the skin, the pulp of the grape after you press it for making wine, we use them as fertilizer. We started also to make a gluten-free flour.
Oh wow!
Yes,
Okay,
with a
cool.
lot of protein in it.
Yeah.
You can use as a fertilizer also to create, oh my god, I don't know how it's the proper word, but like for creating heat and to feed animals. So it's a no waste type of production. Nonetheless, I'm really happy about the sustainability thing, but I think that it's important to remember that the first thing, a cocktail needs to be delicious. Sustainability, it's important, but it comes after,
Yeah, for
from my
sure.
point of view,
Yeah,
because like I want to order a cocktail because it's good, not because it's sustainable. If it's
absolutely.
good and sustainable, it's even better. But good,
Yes, you always want to have a balanced cocktail. It's very, very important. It's something that I preach even with our trainings, like is finding that balance.
yeah.
Right.
But because it happened to me sometimes in Italy to hear bartender that were talking like, no, because like I created this cocktail using banana, and with the banana peel I made the syrup. I was just like, okay, but is the syrup good?
Is it good? Yes. Yeah.
Because
Does it taste good?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think to that point. I think you also nailed it on the head because there's a lot of bartenders who are experimenting and they're starting to get some too many funky flavors in there that are necessarily not appeasing to general market. Right. I think is what we're
I
kind of
love
saying.
the
Yeah.
idea
Yeah.
of funky flavors, but like,
Yeah.
but funk with funky. Sorry, because
Yeah.
this is um a word that I want to understand,
Yeah.
not being non an English speaker.
Yeah.
You mean different or just like bad?
Bad.
Okay,
Say like bad funky. Like there's a good funky. Like
yeah,
yeah, 100% like Jamaican rum and all that funkiness when we talk about Jamaican rum,
yeah,
like the banana esters, that's
yeah, yeah.
good funk. I'm talking about other like weird flavors that don't necessarily make the palate.
So we like
That's,
good funk.
yeah,
We
no,
don't like bad funk.
bad funky. No, no bad funky. No, no bad funky stuff. Uh, cool. So we talked about sustainability. We also talked about balancing of cocktails, which is awesome. What about Italy? What are you seeing over there? What are people drinking out in Italy? What is one of the common things in your area there in
Well,
northern Italy?
I feel like um, in Italy, people are starting to own their tradition more.
Mm,
I mean, um, people are trying more and more to use regional ingredients. They're rediscovering their flavor or the tradition of their culture.
yeah.
And one thing that I love so much is that because of the new consumer that I would like to call a professional consumer, that is just don't want just to have like a spritz or like the mass cocktail thing. Um, Professional bartender are starting to create a cocktail using grappa
Mhm.
and overall grappa nonino. And because like as we said before, consumer want to have a cultural experience when they're drinking, and there is not a spirit that represent Italian culture
Mhm.
more than grappa. And in the past there was starting I saw some bartender using grappa in cocktails,
Mhm.
uh, but I felt like the approach was, in my opinion, wrong, because when you're mixing good grappa, you want to highlight the personality of the spirit. Like you want to taste grappa.
Yeah.
Grappa is the only spirit that as soon as came out of the glass bell doesn't need any adding of aroma or any aging. It
Yeah.
already has a vibrant personality. And the thing is that this personality can be delicious and awesome. And you want to build the cocktail around this personality to be able to decrease the alcohol content,
Mhm.
but still be able to perceive grappa.
Mhm.
It happened to me in the past to try cocktail that wanted to hide the flavor of grappa, and to me this is a failure,
Mhm.
because when you make something that is delicious you want to know that this is a grappa cocktail.
Yeah.
Now more and more people are able to really elevate
Yeah.
the grappa in the cocktail, making it more smashable though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm seeing that, and I think this is awesome
Yeah.
also because in a sort of way it's just like the story of our brand get connected with the story of the bartender,
Yeah.
creating a new story. And for me, it's a way of rediscovering our own product.
Mhm.
And I saw that both in Italy, but also United States, not everywhere, because like, of course, you need to be
Yeah.
a specific bar where, like, I believe so much into sharing passion. I
Mhm.
feel like grappa cocktails are the type of cocktail that you have in a place where the consumer trusts the bartender, be like, hey, man, what do you recommend me to try?
Yeah.
Um, And in that case, when you share passion with someone, you're able to create something unique.
Yeah.
And you really, I think like bartender will be our new brand ambassador.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I definitely 100% agree with everything you're saying. Like, if the bartenders don't have passion about what they're doing and have passion on what they're putting out, then you start seeing the difference in the cocktail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about how earlier you made the comment about storytelling and creating a story behind a cocktail, and that's definitely something that is very critical when you, especially when you're talking like a craft cocktail bar, to have a story behind those cocktails. Like we have the classics, we know those are good, but when we start talking about the bartender creations and stuff that they're coming up with, especially with Nonino Grappa, you start seeing some fun flavors come out, and understanding the flavor profile is definitely the first step in creating some kind of cocktail that revolves around your base spirit, which if it's a grappa, there's a lot of different plays in that one, especially with the Nonino, the different varieties. Um, but understanding a flavor and then developing a story behind that to make sense when you start selling it to a consumer is really important. And I
Yeah.
think you definitely spoke on that very high, very, 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 very well.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm a bartender as well. I
Yeah.
did a 40-hour course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In Italy? Is it a course in Italy?
Yes, I did it in
Okay.
Milan, and I
Okay.
remember
Okay.
I have a shameful moment I want to share.
Mm,
Because, like, of course, I took this course because at the beginning of my career, I was going through different type of fair events to represent the brand, and I was always working with a real
mm,
bartender, and I was always looking like an idiot because I didn't know what I was doing, and
okay.
so I was like, okay, I want to learn at least the base,
Mm.
the basic. How do you say?
Yeah, you got it. The basics.
Yeah,
The basics.
to not look like a complete idiot
Mm-hmm.
when I'm representing Nonino.
Yeah.
So I took this 40-hour course, and one of my aunt Antonella, when our German importer came to our distillery, asked me to. She was like, "You are a bartender. You can make the pepper plain cocktail." I was like, "Sure,"
Mhm.
but I have to say that I am a shy shaker,
Okay.
and as soon as I started to shake the pepper plain cocktail,
Oh, the tin opened. Oh,
all on the carpet.
okay.
But I think that
Yeah.
every bartender has a
I,
story to share.
yeah, we've all done that. I've done. There was. It's been a minute, but like a year ago, I was making a Amaro sour with egg
Okay.
white, and the tins are one of those things where sometimes it's hard to tell how old they are and how worn they are because they don't seal, but you can start feeling it. Like you start feeling it kind of break a little bit. And this thing, someone decided to start talking, or not decide, but they asked me a question, and I turned and looked real quick, and it popped open all over my shoulder, and I had to restart that cocktail. But it happens. It happens to all of us. So I wouldn't be too embarrassed. If anything, it gives you more seasoning because you've already done it on yourself. Yeah, awesome. So you bartended a little bit. What was your favorite cocktail that you made when you were going through that school? What did you kind of make?
So, like, I have to say that, mm, like, nowadays, I think I would choose a different type
Okay.
of path because it was a flair bartending.
Okay.
It was so more being able to make a cocktail quickly.
Hmm.
So it was more about the speed than about the quality. We were also supposed to be able to do the free pouring and
Hmm.
to be able to catch up kind of the measure.
Hmm.
But nowadays, after I got the chance to spend much more time with the bartender scene, I feel that was definitely the wrong type of approach
Okay.
because when we're mixing our grappa, I think that precision is key
Hmm.
because grappa is such a vibrant spirit and it can really make the difference. Like even a little bit of grappa can give so much to the cocktail
Yeah.
because of so many perfume and flavor it brings. And also I think that with a premium spirit like ours, you cannot not be precise in the measurement
Yeah.
because at the end I think that a bartender need also to be we were talking about it need to taste good, it need to be sustainable, but also it need to be a cocktail that is affordable in a
Hmm.
sort of way,
Oh yeah.
and you cannot allow yourself to waste sorry, but I think in CL not in ounces but
Mm.
half an ounce is here and half an ounce is there
Yeah.
with when you're mixing premium cocktail you
Yeah.
need to be really precise. So
Yeah.
um but that was good to be able to make really quick cocktail during fairs such like I don't know Provine or Vinitaly.
Yeah.
um but I think I would love to take another course to be
Okay.
more.
To get a little more rounded.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure you can find someone that would be willing to just show you, spend a day with you, and just make cocktails. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I think that
Mm.
I think I also would love to be able to do that in United States, to be able
Okay.
to have also the cultural differences.
Mhm.
Like for example, one thing that I love so much,
Mm.
um, I started to try mezcal cocktail here in United States,
Okay.
And I have to say that mezcal pairs so well with our product.
Oh yeah, 100%, absolutely.
I love the smokiness of
Yeah,
mezcal.
that
Yes.
with the Amaro Nonino. Oh
Even
yeah.
with aperitivo nonino. In
Oh
San
really?
Francisco, they made me a shot with aperitivo nonino and mezcal,
Yeah.
and it was fucking
And it was
delicious.
equal parts aperitivo. Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a play on we call it an M&M. So normally it's mezcal and Montenegro. What they do. I know. I said it. I'm sorry. I know. I said it.
We can make
Yes.
MNN.
M&N. There you go. That's a good one. An
Mezcal and
M&N,
nonino.
guys. Yeah,
MNN.
an M&N. We need to start trying it. Mezcal and Nonino.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds delicious. We're gonna have to try that tonight at the dinner. Um, cool. Well, since we kind of segued into Grappa, let's go ahead and just dive into Grappa now. So, can you give us like a 101, like 10-minute, 15-minute condensed elevator education of what Grappa is?
Okay, so guys, when we're talking about grappa, we're talking about the most ancient traditional spirit of Italy. To be able to make grappa, you need to be distilling Italian pomace in Italy. Otherwise, it's not grappa, it's pomace eau de vie, just like for cognac or champagne, for example.
Yeah.
So, Italian
Yeah.
or no grappa. Perfect. Grappa was born in the 15th century in northeast of Italy just because farmers were smart enough to understand that what was considered just a leftover by winemakers, because it contained sugar, the pomace, it could be fermented. Because it could be fermented, it could be distilled. And just because this is a 101, I want to specify better what pomace is, because I know that not everybody knows it. So like, imagine to have a grape in your hand, you squeeze the grape, the juice come out. When you open your hand, what you have left in there, the skin, the residual pulp, that is pomace. And um, in the 15th century, for farmers, grappa was almost like an everyday remedies. I don't know. It's crazy cold outside. You pour a little bit of grappa in your coffee. Your gum ache. You massage your gum with grappa. Your baby's crying too much. Finger in a bottle of the grappa. Finger in the mouth of the baby.
Good to go. Yeah.
Yes, but distilling at home, it was illegal.
Okay.
So, and even today, it's illegal. Please, guys, don't drink homemade grappa,
No.
because homemade grappa can be dangerous. In Italy, for the legal grappa, you need to pass a test that is called gastromatographo. That is a test that declare that your grappa is safe for human consumption.
Yep.
So please only drink things that you're sure that are safe for human consumption. But we were saying, so distilling at home is illegal, and it was illegal even at the time. And so farmers needed to wait for a cloudy day, fog, a storm to be able to distill, covering the alcohol steam. Moreover, they used to distill using direct fire, so most of the time they burned the pomace. And so the final product, the grappa, was not that fancy. Grappa was also called the fire water that is able to burn away even hunger. Just to give you an idea, it was this fiery spirit that burn away everything and give you warmth and strength. But this concept of grappa changed completely with my grandmother and my grandfather. My grandfather, this is a little bit emotional for me, because I have to say was the fourth generation of Nonino Distillers. He passed away a couple of months ago, and he will be forever our master distiller. But when my grandmother fell in love with my grandfather, she understood that the grappa he was making was completely different from the grappa you could find in the market. The main reason was really simple. My grandfather understood the first rule of distillation. That is, through the distillation process, you do not create any perfume or taste. You only concentrate the perfume and the taste that there are in the raw material, and you can also create it during the fermentation process. So to be able to make a grappa that is not fire water, you need to distill the freshest, most delicious pomace. And it seems easy to say it like that right now, but consider that to make a bottle of grappa in the size of the Merlot one, you need to distill about 40 pounds of pomace, so a lot of them. And in Italy, even nowadays, the distillery are allowed to storage their pomace up to 8 months. And here is the problem. Pomace is the part of the grape that contains the most aromatic characteristic, because the most dense in perfume and taste is the skin. But pomace is really fragile, because the skin of the grape naturally contains yeast that, when get in touch with the sugar of the pulp, start the fermentation process. And fermentation process, it's really important, because you can distill something only if you ferment it, and so you transform sugar into alcohol.
Mhm.
Nonetheless, there are also secondary fermentation that led to stinky smell, stinky taste, and the creation of methylic alcohol.
Mhm.
So, in Italy, because a artisanal distillery has maximum 12 pot still,
Mhm.
they need to store their pomace, but also they need to change their distillation process. They need to add the demethylization column that lead to a filtration of the grappa
Mhm.
that take out the methylic alcohol, and that's good, but
Mhm.
also take out most of the delicate, most noble components of perfume and taste in the grappa.
Yeah.
So my grandfather, to really be able to respect the quality, the freshness, the identity of the pomace, he built a unique distillery in the world. While the other artisanal distillery in Italy has maximum 12 pot still
Mhm.
that distill up to 8 months per year, my grandfather built with this distillery with 66 artisanal pot still
Oh, okay.
that distill only for 8 weeks per year, exactly during the harvest.
Mhm.
During the harvest, we distill 24 hours per day,
Mhm.
even at night.
Okay.
We allowed ourselves maximum 1 hour and a half of transportation times. 95% of the pomace we distill come from Friuli Venezia Giulia because even the transportation times matter.
Okay.
Maximum 1 hour and a half, and we bring it in our distillery and we distill it.
Mhm.
And so that led to a grappa that was completely different from the firewater
Mhm.
people were used to experience. But the thing was that the prejudice among grappa was still too strong. So when my grandmother used to bring the grappa, my grandfather did, to
Mhm.
the fancy dinner of her friends, and she wanted to offer to the house owner her grappa, their grappa, the house owner never opened the bottle of the grappa, never offered that grappa to the guests
Mhm.
because it was almost seen as disrespectful because grappa was a poor product made
Mhm.
by poor people. That was the prejudice, the
Mhm.
concept of grappa.
Okay.
But my grandmother with my grandfather, they had an idea. At the time, because pomace was considered a leftover, winemakers used to throw pomace all together, mix it all together. But they thought, what if instead of distilling all mixed pomace together, white and red, everything, we select a specific pomace from a specific grape varietal and we distill it with the idea to make immediate the connection between the quality of the raw material and the
Mhm.
quality of the final spirit. And to say it like that right now, it seemed pretty easy, but it was 51 years ago. My grandmother at the time was 1 year older than me. She was
Mhm.
35.
Okay.
And you can imagine to go to a male dominant sector such winemaking and ask winemakers to do something completely different from what they were used to do since centuries. When my grandmother went to winemakers to ask them to keep the picolit because they thought
Mhm.
about starting with picolit because it's an indigenous grape varietal from our region. It's a really precious one. The harvest is really limited
Mhm.
because this grape varietal suffer of floral abortion. That means
Mhm.
that
Okay.
only few flowers turn into grape. So the quantity of the harvest is really small, but the grapes get all the nutrients, all the sugar. It become almost like little drop of nectar.
Okay.
And when my grandmother asked the winemakers to keep the picolit pomace separate from the others,
Mhm.
the answer to her was, "Woman, you are crazy. We will never take the time to do that." But my grandmother, she's 86 years old now,
Mhm.
and she can still kick asses.
Yeah.
You can imagine 51 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
She did not accept a no for an answer. And instead of going back to the distillery empty handed, she went to the winemakers' houses. She spoke to their wives. And thanks to women cooperation, she was able to collect the first quantity of um, single varietal pomace picolite.
Mhm.
And the 1st December 1973 completely revolutionized the way of making grappa, creating the first single varietal. Oh, damn it. That is Monovitigno.
Yeah.
It's a copyrighted name.
Yeah.
And I was not born yet.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
as soon as the first drop of picolit grappa came out of the glass well, my grandmother started yelling to my grandfather, "Benito, Benito, we did it!" Because just from the perfume of those few drops, she was able to understand that we're able to capture the soul, the essence of picolit vineyard and put it in the final glass.
Yeah.
And this is 100 proof, as grappa traditionally was. Consider that it was not only a revolution of the way of making it, distilling single varietal
Mhm.
pomace, but also a revolution in the way of presenting grappa. Grappa at the time was put in this big, shapeless bottle.
Mhm.
My grandmother and my grandfather pick a hand-blown ampoule
Okay.
And since the 1st December 1973, this ampoule have a handmade identity card
Okay.
where we specify the year of the harvest. This is
Hmm.
2020. How many liters? Sorry, it's a liter produced.
Hmm.
This is 2,279. And the number of the bottle, this is number 71. And when it was hand bottle, this one was hand bottle the 29th of September 2023 with
Oh, nice.
the
Okay.
Grappa Queen signature.
Yeah.
And this completely revolutionary way of presenting and perceiving grappa all over the world
Okay.
because the revolution of single varietal grappa proved that grappa was not just grappa, but you can have piccolit grappa, merlot grappa, moscato grappa, chardonnay grappa, and
Mm.
each one of them has a completely different personality.
Mm.
And please, when you go to a restaurant and you ask for an eat grappa, do not treat it as a shot.
Okay.
So this honestly are not the correct grappa glasses
Hmm.
because when we have a high proof spirit neat, it's important to have a glass that is tall enough to put enough distance between the
Yeah.
spirit and your nose so that you're able to appreciate the perfume without getting the heat
Yeah.
of
Okay.
and you need to take a little sip to
Just a
prepare the
small sip.
palate and then another one to appreciate the harmony nose to palate because there are something that you are able to smell, some other that you're able to taste. And this is 100 proof, but even if
Hmm.
it's 100 proof, it's not harsh.
Hmm.
It's not burning. It's not fire water. This is the way of proving the quality of the raw material we selected, the most delicious picolit pomas ever, and the quality of our distillation method.
Yeah.
And just to give you like this honey, acacia honey
Hmm.
aftertaste, and it's the persistency of it. It's so long. It's endless.
Hmm.
And now I'm gonna be a pain in the ass a little bit, but this part for me it's really important.
Hmm.
Overall, because I really believe into sharing culture and passion with bartenders,
Yeah.
because the bartender are the one like
Mm.
bartenders prove me they can completely change the spirit
Yeah.
market because Samaras created pepper plain cocktail and changed all
Yeah.
United States market for us with that cocktail.
Yeah. For sure.
Now Amaro Nonino is everywhere.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is please learn to read the label.
Hmm.
Why I'm saying that? Um, the label of a bottle, it's the way of communication, of giving information more legally bounding.
Mm.
I mean, you cannot declare false in the label of the bottle,
Yeah.
otherwise it's fraud.
Hmm.
You go to prison.
Yeah.
And I have to say that consumer are getting more and more educated, and this is awesome. The problem is that in the spirit industry, there are a lot of producer that do what I call artisanal sounding. They use misleading information
Okay.
on that are not false information,
Hmm.
but they make the consumer think that one product is artisanal when it's not. For example, one of the most common thing to make the consumer think that their product is artisanal when it's not
Yeah.
is to talk on your bottle about the fact that you own an artisanal distillery.
Mm. Yeah.
But owning an artisanal distillery and using that artisanal distillery to distill the product that you're selling are two completely different things.
Yep.
You can own an artisanal distillery, but buy 10 times cheaper industrial product from a third one.
Hmm.
You buy that spirit at full proof,
Hmm.
so you need to do the last transformation process that is just adding the mineralized water.
Yep.
And because you did that, you're able to be called the producer of that.
Hmm.
So for this reason, in all our grappa bottle, we write 100% distilled with artisanal method to
Okay.
really prove that each
Yeah.
tiny drop of our grappa is artisanal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Okay,
no,
now I finished the monologue.
there you go. Yeah. No, that's very clarity and transparency is very important, especially in today's industry because it gets very muddy when we start talking about spirits.
So,
Yeah.
but do you think that this is important to bartenders?
I think yes, it is definitely important to certain circles of bartenders. There's something like bartenders as a whole. There's a whole like everybody's. There's different ones, but yes, I think to the ones that actually are focused more on the craft and promoting good products, I pay attention to labels, and they do too. So it's definitely important. Clarity and transparency from brands for sure.
I'm
Is
so
a big
happy
one.
to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of brands I think are also picking up on that because the industry's been a lot of us have been demanding more clarity on what they're using in their product because consumers are also, like you said earlier, consumers are more educated, so they know what they're looking for, and they know when someone is BSing them at that point, and putting out some marketing scheme behind it. But
Yeah, but also
mm,
because I feel like there is space for everyone.
mhm,
Like it's not like everyone just want to have artisanal product. Some people are more, um, for example, in
mm,
Italy, there are still people that want to have the fiery water grappa
mhm,
because that is what they're used to and they want to
yep,
have that type of sensation. So
yep,
there is space for anyone. Like, I'm not against distilling with an industrial method.
mm,
I'm not against that. I'm against saying bullshit.
yeah,
I'm against make your product feel artisanal when it's not.
right,
Like, be proud of what you do.
mm,
Be proud of saying how you do your stuff.
yeah,
There is nothing wrong distilling with an industrial method, but say it.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of places too that are doing a sourced product, like you said, where they're distilling a bunch offsite and then they cut it at their distillery, and that's what they're claiming as their product. But there's nothing on the label. And then once you start talking to them, like, well, why didn't you put on, like, why isn't this on the label? And well, it hurts the brand. Okay, well, maybe we should reevaluate this a little bit because consumers want to know what's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also because I
Mm,
feel like it's the only way to really protect the quality
mhm,
product. I mean, if we want to make immediate for the consumer understand the characteristic of a product, people that distill with an artisanal method that on the shelf are perceived as the one that distill with an industrial
yeah.
will stop having any type of it's not reason, but like I'm for example, it's something that I'm really afraid about made in Italy. I
Mm,
think that we need to protect the quality of made in Italy. We
mm,
need to protect the characteristic of made in Italy
yeah.
more. I hate, for example, the fact this is a big problem, not
Mm,
only in the spirit industry, also for clothes, like
mm.
that you can make something in the other part of the world, you
Oh
just
yeah.
put a little label
Mm,
in Italy and become made in Italy. No,
mm,
like we need to make it clear that the substantial creation of process of creation of the product
yeah.
need to be done
Yeah.
in that country to be able to be to say made in that country. I don't know if I was able to express myself. Sorry
No,
for
I
my
got you.
English.
No, yeah, we got you. I got you what you're throwing. Um, yeah, definitely. I think it's important. Like again, transparency just comes down to it for everything. Like it's something that the community is starting to move towards, which is appreciated. So, especially with it once we start talking about tequilas and all other stuff, that's a whole conversation. But yes, definitely for sure, transparency.
So
So,
tell me more about this tequila thing.
so the whole, it's uh, so it started. I'm trying to figure out when it started, but there was a movement away from adding to tequila based on one specific brand that was owned by a star that bought it, and they're known to yeah, they're known to put like vanilla flavoring and some other stuff like vanilla and other stuff in their actual finished product, which modifies the flavor of what it is. But again, legally, by definition, they can do up to 1% of product in certain categories. From my understanding, again, anybody can call me out and correct me on this, but based on what I know from the conversation I had with someone else at Tails, they're allowed up to a certain percentage of.
In Italy, you're not allowed to put the
So,
aroma.
okay.
But I heard that some brand were able to do that anyhow, like
Mm,
for example, adding the aroma to the pomace and then distilling it, stuff like that.
yeah.
But yeah, no, for grappa, technically, you cannot add any type of aroma.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it depends on each region and like where it's coming from. Like Italy, I know has strict regulation. I know France for sure has strict regulations on it. But if you think about cognac, cognac has there's certain cognacs that are on the market that definitely have caramel coloring added to it, which is an additive. But then if you start talking about additives, you think about water because water is technically an additive to a product because you have to cut it down after distillation or barrel aging, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in
Mm,
that case, it's also for safety reason
yeah.
because you cannot put a product that
Right.
is 140 proof.
Yeah,
Like,
because at that point, transportation's a
yeah,
challenge, especially importing for
and I
sure.
think like it's, and also the thing is that if it's safe for human consumption,
Mm,
I'm not against
yeah.
if it's safe for human consumption. I'm not against anything. Just you have to declare it.
Hmm.
That for me, it's the what really make the difference.
Yeah.
You added vanilla aroma, okay. You have to say though.
Yeah. And I guess that's the whole point of the movement is like it wasn't officially on the label like we were talking about, but people started doing research into it as to why this tasted that way, and that's what led to the whole revolution.
Yeah, also
Mm,
because in a sort of way, I think that changing the real taste of the spirit take away also from the bartender in
mm,
a sort of way. Just like give me the pure product, then I want to create.
yep,
Then I want to add the perfume and taste that this product inspire me. But do not give me something that was modified.
yeah, for sure. But it's kind of there's people on the market that are doing that right now still, so and they're making a lot of money, but it's just the nature of it. Sometimes like this spirit, I appreciate it. No, I know a lot of our listeners are definitely appreciate Amaro Nonino, and there's a lot of followers here in Houston that I know appreciate it. So
Thank you.
yeah, for sure. Um, so kind of going back to grappa a little bit, this is delicious.
Thank you.
It's definitely it feels like biting into I don't know if this is the right descriptor, but a fresh pear.
I love that.
Yeah, lots of pear notes on this. I've never tried this one. I've tried all the other ones, but I've never tried this one. So this is
Well, this
delicious.
one to us is the most special one. Like if you would tell me you only have one product to tell the 127 history you have in the distillation
Mm,
with your family, which product would you choose? This.
mm,
Like, and I have to say that I'm working for the family business since 8 years.
mm,
But the first 3 years, I was not able to tell the story of the Grappa Revolution without crying. Like it's something that
yeah.
really touched my heart. Even because I think that one thing that I'm the most proud about our brand is that even if you don't drink grappa, the story of my grandfather and my grandmother, it's so inspiring.
Mm,
Are have some value that so many beautiful lesson.
yeah.
Like if you believe in
Mm,
something, like grappa was considered the fire water that is able to burn away even hunger.
yeah.
And nowadays, we have grappa represent Italian excellence all over the world.
Mm,
And our distillery, a grappa distillery,
mm,
was the very first grappa producer and Italian distillery that get the recognition as best distillery of the world 2019
nice.
world champions. And that's just because crazy people, my grandparents,
Yeah.
fell in love with grappa so much and they wanted to prove to the world how delicious grappa could be.
Yeah.
And this is why I believe so much in passion
Mm,
and in sharing passion with people.
yeah. For sure. Passion leads to innovation. Yeah, your grandparents definitely innovated and pushed the category, which is exciting. And I'm sorry for your loss. I know a few months ago I saw the post, and I know they're still making big differences. Your grandmother too. She seems like a sweet lady as well. So, and your entire family is
But the thing is
yeah.
that one of the most beautiful thing about working in a family business is that every time I talk about grappa, my grandfather is with me.
Mhm.
He's alive in our product, in the life lesson that he gave us, in the value that our company follows. So he's with us.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely ever present within the products that you guys produce, which is awesome. Yeah,
Thank you.
he'll always be cool. Well, I know we talked a little bit about grappa. Um, so let's talk a little bit about what you would recommend mixing grappa with, or what you're saying. So is it so? Do you want us to sip on it? Do you want us to innovate? And like we talked about innovation and creating a cocktail, what would you mix? Because I know this one, I definitely would want to just sip on this one, but like the Merlot that you
S-
have, the Chardonnay, and I'm missing one of the other ones,
Moscato.
Moscato. Mhm.
So like grappa traditionally as was seen as a digestif,
Mm,
so an after dinner type of drink. Even if in Italy we pour it even in coffee in the
mm,
morning, like we do caffè corretto, and it's really delicious.
yeah,
Um, my suggestion would be to have it neat, maybe with the dessert, grappa and sweet. It's delicious. Like in Italy, we use grappa as also an ingredient for making cake, for
mm,
example, and many other dessert that I don't know how to translate in English, but like it's something that is really suits the tasting profile of sweet. Also because
yeah.
of the alcohol proof that allowed you to mm, how do you know that I mean how do you say that to 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 clean your to
You could
cleanse your
cleanse the
palate
palate.
to
Mm,
to go against the fattiness, the
yeah,
sweetness of the dessert.
yeah,
But of course, I think not. It's not like I think, but bartender prove us
Mm,
that grappa in cocktail can be really awesome.
mm.
And well, for example, my grandmother, she cannot stand white wine. She said that it gives her headache.
Okay.
So her favorite cocktail to sip during a meal, it's a Nonino tonic.
Mm,
That it's Grappa Nonino, for example, Merlot or
okay.
Moscato,
Yeah.
with ice, tonic water, a slice of a lemon twist, and a little bit of rosemary, and it's delicious.
Okay.
But you can use grappa for making so many different cocktails. For example, Merlot, it's delicious in the basil smash. It has this herbal type of notes. It get so well that
Yeah.
pairs so well with basil. With Moscato, Monica Berg created 3 different cocktails. Like the approach that she recommends for mixing grappa is first thing, have grappa neat. Try it and see what type of perfume and taste that spirit
Mm,
inspire you. And then you can build the cocktail by contrast or by harmony.
mm.
For example, she tried our Grappa Moscato and she was able to appreciate it um, orange
Oh,
blossom.
boss. Okay.
And
Mm.
because she was able to appreciate orange blossom, she created a cocktail which name is Italiano. And she mixed our Grappa Moscato with ginger ale and a bitter orange blossom cordial.
Okay.
Unbelievably good. It's
Yeah.
become like the best aperitivo ever.
Mhm.
Or for example, she was also able to appreciate jasmine, and so she
Yeah.
created a jasmine gimlet
That sounds delicious with the grappa. Oh yeah.
and
Okay. Mm,
patchouli. And
mm.
because of the she was able to appreciate patchouli, she created this cocktail called Chinotto Negroni. So 3 different cocktails using the same
Mhm,
grappa, and each one of them so
mhm.
different. I have to say that I'm really so inspired by Monica Berger.
Yeah.
She's a great bartender.
Mm,
She's brilliant.
yeah. And where's she based out of? In
London,
London. Okay.
Tire
Yeah.
Elementary.
Yeah. Awesome.
She's with her partner Alex
Oh
Catena.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I've not been out to London's on my list of I need to go visit the bar scene there. But that bar's always been on my list of like I need to go see what they're doing. So yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So that grappa and tonic is very intriguing to me because I've never actually considered putting grappa in a tonic.
Oh, even grappa sour.
Oh yeah, with
Mm-hmm.
or without egg white.
That it depends. Like
Mm.
we normally use egg white, but even aquafaba.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that and the saltiness. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Cool. Well, we know we talked about a little bit your family. We talked about your grandparents. Let's talk a little bit more about the family business.
What do
So,
you want to know?
so let's who all your aunts run it. Everybody, right? So it's 100% women-owned business. So
Yes.
like all your aunts are still integrated into the business, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Does everybody have like a different role that they play?
Of
Or yeah.
course. Like nowadays, I'm working with my grandmother,
Mm,
Giannola, my mom, Cristina, that is the master distiller, my aunt Antonella, that she's in charge of marketing, the Nonino Prize, and the German market. And then my aunt Elisabetta, she's the CEO, and she's also um, we manage together the United States market. Yeah.
awesome.
Um, so we have a 3 generation of women working in the family business,
Yeah.
and working in the family business, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's the best and the worst at the same
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, I got you. Are you guys always talking about Nonino, or when you get together, it's kind of we don't talk about the business?
No. Always talk about
Yeah,
Nonino.
I see.
Always. It made me laugh because
Yeah.
it happened to me that my grandmother sent me email at 2 a.m. talking about the business, but like it's so much part of our identity, of our history that it's almost impossible not to talk about
Mm,
Grappa. Like Grappa, it's part of the family member. It's a family member. I don't
yeah.
know how to say that in a different way,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I have to say that as a family business, we are the typical casa bottega Italiana. It means like um, consider that the place where we have our office are just in front of the house of my grandparents.
Mm,
Uh, and over there, we also have the garden
mhm.
where my grandma grows tomatoes that we fertilize with the distilled pomace. And
Okay.
she make the best tomato sauce in the world. Like we grow tomato this big.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And when just before starting the harvest,
Mm,
we collect the tomato and we make a tomato sauce. And I can tell you, if you're gonna come visit us in our distillery, you're gonna have the best grappa in the world.
Mhm.
So many grappa that you're not you do not have in United States market. It's gonna be super fun, but
Yeah.
also the best tomato pasta of your life.
Yeah.
You're gonna experience all the Italian love. My grandma will give you gentle slap, kiss you on the cheek. It's gonna be so warm, so loud, and so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. So people can come out and visit the distillery, or is
Hmm.
it invite only, or is it
No,
open to
no,
the
no.
public?
It's open to the public. Of
Yeah.
course, like you need to make a reservation
Mm.
because we're small. But
Yeah.
we love to like. I feel like you're not able to understand really what there is inside of our Nonino bottles until you can visit us.
Yeah.
Like until you see the distillery, you see the 66 artisanal pot still, you're able to see our aging cellar, you're able to taste, you're really able to experience the family, the love, the passion.
Yeah, for sure. And one question I meant to ask you earlier is how many people do you have during production when you're doing when you're
When we
doing
do the
the
distillation
yeah, the
process,
distillation
we have
process?
18 seasonal, it's
Yeah.
true,
Mm.
distillers because we need to cover free turn of 8 hours to cover the whole day.
Okay. And with the distillation process, are they going through and are you tasting it as it's going through the still, or do you guys have a computer that's monitoring it?
No, no,
And
no.
it's all okay.
And like consider that
Yeah.
when we are distilling, we have all the time functional of the monopoly agency because
Okay.
the grappa, when it's being distilled, it's at its full proof,
Mhm.
that is about 140 proof, need to be taken some sample.
Mm.
The function of the monopoly agency send this sample to prove that it's okay for human consumption, and after that, you can take the grappa out of the distillery.
Heard that.
You cannot do that prior. So
Mm.
there is first this type of not tasting but testing.
Okay.
Then we need to add the mineralized water
Okay.
and to make it rest for 4 to 6 months because adding water change the chemical ties.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Mm.
you need to wait to really be able to appreciate the final delicious
Yeah.
taste and perfume of grappa. And then we have samples of grappa from all harvest.
It's okay.
And I have to say it's really fun when we need to create some blend because sometimes it's from a specific harvest, a specific grape variety like Monovitino. Sometimes it's a blend, and I have to say that it's really, really fun. When my mom asked, I had to wait to be able to to be taken in consideration for the tasting. But when the office of my mom, it's like filled with the little ampoules to do the
Okay.
testing and try the best combination.
Yeah, for sure. And that's all she does is she tastes and figures out what the blend is.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that so once you add the water to the grappa, you let it rest
Mm-hmm.
for a couple days. So
No, for 4 to 6 months in
Okay.
stainless steel container.
Yeah.
That is not aging.
yeah, it's just hanging out. And, so I had a conversation with Alexandre from San Ferran, and we were talking about, can't remember what the word he uses, but the proof shock that happens. So you're basically trying to let the proof shock die down because when
Exactly.
you're adding the water, it's literally changing, like affecting all the molecules,
Yeah.
and they just need to chill out. So
Proof shock, it's a new term I'm gonna bring home.
I don't know if that's what he called it, but that's what I'm gonna call it, the proof shock, because you have bottle shock that happens with wine specifically, but proof shock is definitely something that I think happens when you add water to
Yeah.
distill it. So new term. I don't know if we're gonna start using that now, but awesome. Cool. Well, we talked about your family. Let's go and talk a little bit about the Amaros.
Of
So, of
course.
course, you guys started with Grappa, and
Mhm.
you always
In
will be a
1897.
Grappa house, yeah. And then when did you start producing Amari?
So Amaro was created by my great grandfather
Okay.
in 1933. Sorry, I cannot pronounce that in English.
1993.
90?
1993?
1933. 1933.
1933. 1933.
Yeah, I cannot
Okay,
pronounce that.
1933, gotcha.
Like when it's double digit in
Yeah.
English and they begin with 3 or 4, for me it's impossible to make it sound like I don't know what I'm saying, so I prefer to do the spelling of the number.
So,
But yeah,
1933, okay.
yeah, that
Okay.
my great grandfather, that was already the third generation in the Nonino family, decided to start the liqueur art, and it was because at the time in Italy, each Italian family has their own Amaro recipe because they were looking to make infusion with herbs and spices that were supposed to be good for you.
Yeah.
And when sugar became less expensive, more approachable to people, they were able to add also sugar. So Amaro becomes something that was not only supposed to be good for you, but also something delicious to drink.
Yeah.
But my great grandfather wanted to make an Amaro that was more connected with our family history. So instead of using any neutral spirit for the base, he used the grappa that he made.
Yeah.
And he created at the time what was called Amaro Carnia, because Carnia is the mountain area in our region. And he chose that because he used for the infusion spontaneous herbs from that area of Friuli Venezia Giulia.
Yeah.
Then my great grandfather got killed during Second World War.
Okay.
And my great grandmother had to take over the distillery. She had to learn how to distill, how to make liqueur, to be able to support the family. And she added to the recipe of her husband, sorry, different spices and herbs we were not able to grow in Friuli, but we had access to in Spice Market.
Okay.
And then in 1992, after my grandmother and my grandfather created the grape distillate, grappa and grape distillate are two completely different things. With grappa, there is somebody that makes the wine, and with leftover, you make grappa. With the grape distillate, nobody makes the wine. You distill the whole grape, and they put that into aging. My mom and my aunts tried the grape distillate aging barrique 5 years, and they were so amazed by the tasting profile of this spirit that they thought, what if we change the grappa in the base of our Amaro with grape distillate aging barrique? And when they did that, they were so amazed by the result that they decided to give the name to our Amaro Quintessenza. That means reaching alchemic perfection.
Okay.
And I have to say that, well, I love our Amaro so much, but because it has a complexity that is really smooth. And it's smooth because of this grape distillate aging barrique. They give a lot of nuances, but without making it too bitter, too harsh.
Yeah.
So, a lot of botanicals, a lot of complexity, but still it's so delicious to drink it by its own. Or my grandfather's favorite way was on the rocks with a slice of orange.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
sure.
of course, it's scientifically proven. Every cocktail with Amaro Nonino tastes better. It's science.
Yes, yeah, there you go. Awesome. So how long are you able to tell us how long the grape distillate's aged? Is it
5
is it
years.
5 years? 5 years. Perfect. And what kind of grapes are you guys using?
No, that is a blend.
It's a blend. Okay, so it's just a blend of different grapes. Cool. Awesome. So I forgot. I forget that Amaro Nonino is a grape distillate. I thought it was a neutral grain, but that's a good reminder on that, which explains a lot of taste profiles on it. So once you do that, so you have the grape distillate, are you infusing it and then distilling it, or is it a separate infusion with each individual spice and you can put it together?
No,
and
it's all
just put in there.
infused together.
Okay, so it's all put in a pot and then just infused, or is it redistilled?
No, it's not redistilled.
So it's just infused. Cool. Awesome. It is delicious.
Thank you. And now we have also the Reserva version.
The Reserva. Yeah.
So the thing is that Amaro Nonino Reserva does not only contain the grape distillate aging barrique, but it's the all Amaro Nonino, so all this product, put in barrique and aged for 24 months.
Okay.
And so these 24 months of extra aging of the all Amaro Nonino give these beautiful notes, like transform the chocolate hint of the Amaro into a chocolate explosion. And then the orange into candied orange. And then we have chocolate, forest floor, leather. To me, this is the perfect meeting point between an aged spirit and an Amaro. And it's so delicious.
Yes, absolutely. I haven't had the Reserva. It's been a minute.
Can we open it?
Yeah.
Sorry, we only have that glass.
Yes.
I know. Okay, but do you remember Amaro Nonino? So, okay, because I always like to do the comparison.
Oh, yeah.
We like the oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, the nice colors and everything on this one, too.
And also it's a little bit thicker than Amaro Nonino
Hmm.
because the angel share make it more concentrated, and also it's not filtered. So
Hmm.
like it's just came out of the barrique like this.
Yeah. You mentioned angel share. How much are you losing per barrel? Is it a good
Oh my
amount, or
god.
is it?
Honestly, like consider the angel share normally it's about 3 to
Okay, so
5%.
it's not good. Awesome.
But it's not it's
It's not as much as some other spirits.
no, it's more like
Mm,
what I wanted to say it's not like that it's scientifically you can say
mm,
this one will have
mm,
this amount of angel share because like sometimes there are also loss like
mm,
some barrique lose more
mhm.
but it also depends from the position inside of the aging cellar because it's the barrique it's on the top it's warmer
Mhm.
so it gets more.
Yeah, some more of the evaporation happens as
Yes,
it gets hotter. So it's delicious.
thank you.
Mm. Um, how big are the barrels that you guys use? So you say
So
barriques. So like,
uh, I
how many liters is that one?
so the barrique goes from 350 to maximum 600 liters.
Okay.
Consider that for wine and spirit it's different
Mm-hmm.
because because the white one are kind of smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. That's real good.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Um, cool. So let's talk a little bit about the aperitivo.
So there
Because I
is
know
a
some of
beautiful romantic connection between Amaro Nonino and Aperitivo Nonino because Amaro Nonino was the recipe of my great grandfather, Aperitivo Nonino the recipe of my great grandmother. Um, when she became a widow, she thought about using the same approach she was using in the kitchen
Mm,
to create it first signature recipe for a liqueur.
yeah.
And so she created what was called at the time aperitivo bianco,
Mm-hmm.
that means white aperitif,
Mm-hmm.
because at the time for producer was already common to use artificial food coloring
Yeah.
to make the aperitivo pop and attract the eye of the consumer. But she wanted to make something more in the natural side. Then, uh, when my grandfather and my grandmother revolutionary way of making grappa, I tried to summarize everything because like there are so many things that I didn't say, but
No, I get you. Mm,
they had to study the grappa for 10 years.
mm,
And so during those period, they really focus on the distillation and we stopped making many of the liqueur we were used to make before.
mm.
We have a um, old booklet with all the recipe of liqueur we used to make, but
Yeah.
we are not making all of them
Okay.
anymore. In 2015, my mom took the recipe of l'Aperitivo Bianco. She studied for 3 years to give it more body and structure,
Mm,
and she add gentian root and rhubarb,
okay.
being able to transform this into a botanical drink, an all-natural, vegan-friendly aperitif,
Okay.
and it has 20% less sugar than the average aperitif. Um, it's really delicious. It also contains strawberry grape distillate from our vineyard,
Okay.
and I love the bottle so much
Oh yeah.
because my great grandmother was the first female master distiller in Italy, but definitely not the last one.
Hmm.
After we had 3 generations of women master distiller, each
Yeah.
one of them hold a glass,
Okay.
and you can see that the glasses are crystal clear. So when the bottle is full,
Mm.
the glasses are full. When you start drinking it, they get empty. So you have all
Oh
Nonino
yeah.
women toasting and cheering with you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this one's gonna be a grape distilled as well. Right. Awesome.
Strawberry grape.
Strawberry. Hmm.
So it has these beautiful notes of wild berries, a lot of flower, a lot of citrus, this bitterness given by gentian root and rhubarb.
Yeah.
I love it so much with grapefruit soda,
Hmm. Oh
or
yeah.
like if you like a
Mm.
spritzes, but
Yes.
also as mezcal. In New Orleans, this bartender made me cocktail using aperitivo nonino, gin, orgeat, lime, and passion fruit.
Okay. So I'm sure it was delicious. It
It
sounds
was to
absolutely
die
good.
for.
Yeah. At the dinner tonight, we're definitely going to be having a spritz. So I'm excited for you to try that to
Woohoo!
see what he came up with. So awesome. Cool. Well, I know we're getting close to the time to wrap up here. Did you have anything else you wanted to cover?
What I want to cover? No.
No, I think we're good.
That I thank you to all the bartenders that are passionate, that share amazing, delicious recipe, that study, that get an amazing culture and spirit because you really, really, really made the difference. So thank you so much. Please, if you ever go to Italy.
Mhm.
We're just 1 hour from Venice. We would love to host you.
Yeah.
And even if you cannot come, contact us because we're always happy to do online tasting, masterclassing, online distillery
Yeah.
tour because we believe so much into sharing passion and
Yeah.
sharing education. We are a small family business. We are not a big company. We do not have the money to do crazy marketing thing.
Yeah.
But what we can do is meet each other, talk about the product, share the passion, and really make a difference. So contact us.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, on that note, thank you for coming in today. We appreciate you
It's my pleasure.
having you. Where can our followers find you? Like, what's your Instagram handle, or
So
how can they reach out to you if they have
there
questions?
is Grappa Nonino
Mm,
at Grappa Nonino, or my Instagram is at francesca.nonino.
awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you again for coming out. I
Thank you. It
appreciate
was
it.
my
Yeah, this
pleasure.
is great having a conversation. And thank you all for tuning in. We're excited that you came in, like I said. So thank you again. Catch us next time. So again, signing off, Patrick.